The Extreme Sailing Series, a world-class event for some of the fastest boats on the planet. 7 outstanding venues, 8 international teams, just 1 trophy. No one gives an inch.
Okay, go now, go now. Massive pump, massive. Everything you got, Pete!
And we're heading to Portugal and the UK, where thousands come to watch as the teams race within just meters of the shore. The roadshow has arrived in Porto, host to Act 4 of the Extreme Sailing Series. It's a new and challenging venue for the fleet. Over the next 4 days, 8 international teams will race on the waters right in the heart of this city, a city defined by its love of spectator sports.
Great tradition, interesting city. Porto is well known for the Red Bull Air Race. We're doing the same thing now, but just on the water between the bridges, and I think it's as much fun as they had here with the planes.
It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to the stadium racing. It's very tight and going to be very interesting in the centre of Porto.
The tour arrives here after acts in Oman, China and Turkey. From here it continues in Europe for the next 2 stages before the finale in Brazil. That's in December. Over 30 races are scheduled, and with the action taking place in one of the most confined arenas ever seen on the series, there's going to be some close calls.
What is attack?
America's Cup sailors, Olympic and world champions, they're all here to win. The stakes are punished hard. It's the halfway stage of the competition, and the pre-season favourites, Group Eben de Rothschild from France, really need a great event if the predictions are going to come true.
Well, we are really looking forward for a good result here. It's all about going to be everybody is against the wave, because they show us a really good level of sailing for the last 3 events.
Our team, the Wave Muscat, are at the top of the overall leaderboard at the moment. That's really our goal here, is just to be consistent, try not get too complacent, keep pushing hard, and I know the other teams will be really gunning for us.
And it's going to be tough to beat them, but we're ready to fight against them and able to race them and beat them.
The Wave Muscat are the form team, but Austria's Red Bull Sailing are having their best year ever on the tour.
And if we are sailing like in Istanbul, there's a good chance to win the act, and that's what we're trying to achieve.
This, though, will be a very different challenge to Istanbul. Day 1 sees the fleet out on open water. With a few key crew changes at this event, this is the last chance to practice before they move inside for the stadium racing, right in the heart of the city. Plenty to think about for Andrew Walsh, steering for the first time on British entry GAC Kinder.
Really happy. Sort of 2 days, a bit of training. Felt a little bit ring rusty going into the racing, particularly on the start line. Racing up the river is going to be really narrow, really gusty, potential for quite a lot of breeze as well. I think equal opportunity for everybody at the moment. Nobody's raced in these conditions yet this year, so hopefully we just stay clean and fast and keep the boat upright.
Day 2 and the pre-race concern about the challenges of Porto are justified straight away. Word is out in the city that the action is worth watching, and some of the largest crowds seen so far on the tour are here.
Well, this is the Wave Muscat, they're enjoying it here. Red Bull, well, the Austrian team are getting another podium place. Well, a great start again for the Wave Muscat, they've already won 5 races today. Oh, Group Eben de Rothschild are on the rocks.
Well, there are some pretty serious hazards here in Porto. Lots of boats along the side, big ferries. There's not a lot of room, and there are some significant rocks and shallow patches. So there's not a lot of room for us to manoeuvre, and sometimes you haven't got any choice.
We were a little bit on the attack mode, and we just forgot that was Extreme Sailing Series, and you have some limits that you should not pass, and well, we hit the ground quite badly for the boards, but well, everything has been fixed overnight and the boat is ready to go again. So the plan is still to beat the wave, which is not an easy task, but that's what we're here for.
So a difficult day for Group Edmund de Rothschild sees them drop to 4th. Series leaders, the Wave Muscat, are off to an early lead. Red Bull sailing team takes 2nd place. The French will be hoping their luck improves as they try to cling on to a podium spot.
Well, the Wave Muscat are off to a good start again.
Racing on this circuit is all about staying out of trouble, something many teams were not able to achieve.
Oh, there's trouble there on GAC Pindar. Well, looking back from Red Bull, there's a rudder issue on the British boat.
GAC Pindar's retirement meant less traffic on the racecourse, but that didn't prevent things getting even tighter.
Very tight at the top mark there. Group Edmund de Rothschild are off. They're doing better. Oh, problem here now. Oman Air have just sailed straight into the back of SAP. Someone's in the water. It's Jes Graham Hansen off SAP in the water. Well, Oman Air had no room, no space, crash into the back of SAP. And now Oman Air stationary, hooked onto that yacht there. Well, who knows just how bad the damage was, but Jes Graham Hansen safely out the water.
So we came into the weather mark on starboard, the Wave leading, SAP leading us with the Lingy to leeward. We were all approaching the mark to tack around the mark. And the Wave tacked in front of SAP, SAP tucked behind them, and we came around with a heap of speed. And it was either sail straight into the side of the tacking boat or into the back of SAP, because we lost our spinnaker pole. Obviously didn't finish that race, then had to sail 2 more races.
Lining up for a starboard end start at the committee boat. Start gun went, got a really good start, all looked well. Sort of 10 seconds later, unfortunately, SAP, they came in looking for the port duck, which is normally a very strong start as long as there's enough space. Fortunately, there was probably 2 or 3 inches, too little room, and they took the back of the boat on.
When you're sailing 8 fast boats in a very small area, it's going to be a lot of action going on, and that's exactly what happened.
With broken bowsprits and sailors in the water, this truly was a day to remember and a great spectacle for the fans. A good day for Group Edmund de Rothschild, who returned to within 2 points of Red Bull sailing team. Their podium campaign back on track.
We try to get as many points as possible and then see how it works out until the last race. I mean, obviously it's these 2 boats to beat, and yeah, we have to do our best.
It's been a really great event for us. We really enjoyed it. It's quite a different outlook, you know, without the stress that we've had at other events of having a real bad day. So hopefully we can actually convert that real nice form into today. We're not going to be complacent by any means. We have to push hard still, because Chitano are right on our heels in the overalls and don't want us to get away. If we sit back too much, we can lose that whole lead. So we still have to push. Don't worry about that.
A big day for Macmillan and his crew. Can they hold on to their lead? A collision today could cost them not only the win here in Porto, but jeopardise their overall series lead. With around 40,000 spectators crammed along the shoreline, the stage is set for a huge finale.
Huge crowds here today, and the breeze is forecast to blow hard. A big gust at the top mark there. Right more close to the camera and shy. Oh, big bang there. There was a collision at the top of the course. But there it is, look, Group Evan and Rothschild. Well, that's the damage at the front of their boat. And they hit the Wave Muscat. And there is the Wave Muscat. And there's damage at the back of the boat there, I saw. Lee McMillan inspecting it. Well, it's severe, but it's not going to stop them. Well, they've had a memorable afternoon, but this is event win number 3 for the Wave Muscat.
That's it. You can bring her.
The Wave Muscat wins, with Red Bull sailing team in second. Oman Air claimed the final podium spot. In fourth, Alinghi, led by former America's Cup winner Ernesto Bertorelli. For Roman Hagara, jubilation at a job well done.
The last day was nearly perfect for us. Winning the last final race was also really good for the whole team. Every time we passed on the side of the crowd, they were cheering for us, which is really nice.
And for McMillan, it's 3 wins out of 3.
Cardiff, it's UK, so hopefully we'll get a bit of support at home, and his friends and family can be there to watch us as well. Just really looking forward to getting stuck in there.
So Porto provided an amazing event at another stunning venue. A 3rd win for the Wave Muscat, and well-deserved podium for Oman Air, whose performance knocks Group Edmund de Rothschild out of the overall top 3 for the first time this year. Act 5 and the fleet are back in action as the UK round of the Extreme Sailing Series arrived in Wales. 4 days of spectacular Extreme 40 racing in Cardiff Bay. It's the first time Cardiff has hosted the UK round of the tour, and the sailors' knowledge of the venue is a little hit and miss.
It's quite a nice place. I didn't know that Cardiff is that big, and people are very friendly. That's the most important thing.
It's great when there's a festival going on and everyone gets really behind the sailing and enjoying it and seeing what it's all about.
Wales, historically, I mean, they live and breathe rugby. The Millennium Stadium is just up the river from us here.
I know they always have a good fight with the English. Australians, Kiwis, South Africans, all strong sailors, French, and they all have great rugby teams, so it's fun to watch the sport.
And for one event only, wildcard entry Team Wales. Their crew is predominantly Welsh, including skipper Dave Evans and GB Olympic medalist Hannah Mills. For every new team comes new dangers. Fortunately for Team Wales, their helm, Australian Torvar Mirsky, is only too aware of the dangers of Extreme 40 racing.
Last year I was skipper of the Wave Muscat for the first 3 events. Qingdao, we had one of the bigger capsizes, really put the bow down and totally went over the front. Main sheet trimmer landed on the mast, snapped it. That was Kyle Langford, and I fell behind him just afterwards. When the mast snaps, the whole platform falls down quickly, and it was quite a spectacular crash and a lot of damage for us that day.
This tour attracts some of the best talent in the sport, including Olympic medalists and world champions. All live and breathe competition. Since arriving here from Porto, all the crews have set themselves targets, leading overall the Wave Muscat.
Porto is dubbed as one of the trickiest and the most difficult conditions for an event so far, and this is looking just as difficult, particularly with the breeze as it is today. We've won 3 in a row up to this one, so this could make it 4, which would equal Alinghi's record in 2008, but by no means is it going to be easy.
Chasing hard and on form, Austrian Red Bull sailing team.
The whole team is trying really hard and push really hard, and we are 2nd overall, which is good for the team, and still try to improve and to push a little bit more and try to catch up on the way.
And British team GAC Pindar is still looking to secure their first ever podium.
Home waters, or near as it can be, here in Wales. We'd love to go out there. Be on the podium is our goal for the week, but if we could go obviously better than that, we'd be delighted.
Here in Cardiff Bay, all 4 days of racing are stadium format, right in front of the crowds. Big breeze out on the racecourse ensured proceedings got off to an exciting start. Whilst overall series leaders, the Wave Muscat, failed to shine, the one team posting solid results were Austrian Red Bull sailing team. disappointing end to the day for Team Wales.
We dropped the mast, which was not our fault, by the way, just I want to make that clear. One of the little strops up the top to hold the mast up broke, that failed. It was a little bit unfortunate, and that just meant we'd just been backed up with a lot of boat work to keep the boat rolling throughout this event.
Day 2, and the crews have had a chance to size up this tricky course. For the teams at the top, today is the day to concentrate on performing well.
The first day here in Cardiff was pretty tough for us. It was all quite hectic. It's the nature of the course and the conditions. It's very gusty, very windy. It was very difficult, and we just ended up getting into too many situations where we weren't in control of the situation how we normally like to be.
For Red Bull sailing team, their early lead over tour leaders the Wave Muscat means little at this stage.
You will see today they are for sure again very, very good, and we try everything for sure, but we are not too focused on them, so we have to do our own thing. We have to be clear what we are doing, no mistakes.
Out on the race course, the forecasted light breeze replaced by stronger, more gusty conditions. Current leaders Red Bull sailing team remain in front, just. Oman Air lead the charge, followed by the resurgent Wave Muscat. British team JAC Pindar are also on form and pushing hard.
And that is the start, and it is a great start from Oman Air. Nose just out in front. Well, Oman Air, there's lighter breeze, but they have the advantage. But what a sight that is as the fleet scream down towards this mark. GAC Pinter bows in the water, and they've gained hugely on Oman Air there. So Oman Air leading. Looking back, see the wave, they're in 5th at the moment. Pinder come round the mark with more speed. New team to the circuit, Team Wales. Well, they're doing well. To the left-hand side, every race course just behind Group Evan and Rothschild. Oh, that's close! Round the bottom arc, oh, just hold it! Oh, it crashed down, but big gust funneled through and nearly caught the French team out there. Well, right at the beginning of this race, Oman Air had the advantage. It was a perfect start. They defended their lead, they played a safe race. It is a race win for the Omani team, and they're gaining all the time.
Obviously a challenging day, pretty windy, tight quarters, but we got our way through it. Came through without any damage. We're really happy with where we're at, but the wave, you never count them out. They'll always come back.
So the Austrians out in front remain hunted by the two Omani teams. British team JAC Pindar are in 4th, followed by Group Evan and Rothschild. It's day 3 here in Cardiff. Before racing gets underway, international superstars from cricket and rugby, as well as British Olympic sailing medalists, have descended on the race village to try their hand on an Extreme 40.
This is absolutely insane. It's so fast, I can't believe it.
That was absolutely amazing. I've never been in one before, and it's so fast and so exciting. I've got a big grin on my face.
Special experience. It's something I've never experienced and something I'd love to do again. It's brilliant. Boats actually travel far quicker than you think they look. You watch it here, they look quick, but when you're on them, they're really quick.
I didn't realise how scary it was. I'm used to jet skis, but it seemed very fast for me. I didn't say anything. I just held on for dear life.
As the spectators crowd the shore for the racing, it's the struggling Group Evan and Rothschild who open proceedings with the win. Danish SAP Extreme Sailing Team, new to the series this season, are also on form and enjoying the 20 knots plus of breeze. The racing is fast, intense and draws more and more crowds as the day goes on. Up at the top of the leaderboard here in Cardiff, Red Bull Sailing Team have had a nightmare day. A good day for Oman, but especially for tour leaders the Wave Muscat, who seem re-energised and more determined than ever. Consistently solid races sees them race to the top of the table and place them on course to equal Lingi's 2008 4x4 event wins.
It's difficult enough just trying to get the boat around the course, really. It's full on, there's no time at all to kind of plan or have any sort of discussion about what's happening. You just got to push all the way and react to it as best you can.
It was a spectacular day by the whole team. The boat handling was superb and some weak starts again, but later in the day we finally found our grip on the line and it felt good.
To get onto the podium tomorrow, that would be absolutely everything for us. We've been working for it all year. If we could do that tomorrow, we'd be delighted.
So a brilliant day for the Wave Muscat. Red Bull sailing team crashed out to fourth. Oman Air move up to second place, followed by British team GAC Pindar, looking to score their first podium place on the tour. The teams put on a night racing show for the crowds alongside the windsurfers of the Neil Pride Racing Series. It's a welcome distraction from the pressure of the main event. It's the final day of Act 5 and things are tight at the top. As always, the last race of the day will be worth double points. The pressure is on all the teams to stay in contention and score a decisive blow in the closing stages.
We'd love to be on the podium and we love to be in the top spot. We tried very hard the last 4 races. Now we were leading the first 2 days. Had yesterday a really bad day, but this is the day today, and hopefully we can get everything together.
It's very, very close all the way through the leaderboard. We haven't got people just trying to beat us in this event. They're trying to reel us in overall. There's probably going to be a lot of people trying to stop us win this event, so we've just got to keep our cool and really just try and convert it into a podium and not have a big blowout, so we end up affecting things for the overall series. So that's really our main goal today.
But across the pontoon, the Omani stablemates and winners of Act 1, Oman Air, are in a confident mood.
They're doing a really good job, but I feel like we're sailing our boat well. We've been consistent every day, so if we just keep putting forward what we have been, chances are we'll come out on top.
With everything so close, the strain is beginning to show, and that is when mistakes happen.
Could still win here in Cardiff, but who will? It couldn't be closer. And that is the start. There's an Red Bull have been called back. They were over the line at the start gun, and that could be the end of any chance the Austrian team have of winning. Oh, Wales are going back as well. Morgan Larson on Oman Air is off, leading at the moment. Well, SAP are leading this race. They cannot get a podium place in the competition. Porto Oman Air getting ever closer to beating their rivals, the Wave Muscat. Well, the race is won by SAP, but Oman Air on target to beat the Wave Muscat to stop Lee McMillan winning 4 events in a row. Celebrations on Oman Air. Well, what will the mood be like on board their teammates? It will be so different. Lee McMillan, disappointment, he didn't make it 4 in a row.
So after 32 races here in Cardiff, delight for Oman Air, who trumped their teammates on the Wave Muscat, denying them the record they sought. Red Bull sailing team, will they complete the podium places?
Feels tremendous. Tough week, obviously challenging physically, and then today mentally it was just a challenge all week. It was great teamwork, and it felt good to finally win.
I guess a little bit disappointed not to win, because we did have our eyes, on that kind of 4th win to equal Alinghi. The priority for us now, we just got to focus on winning the series now, and that's what it all comes down to.
We have some really good days. But then always one day which is not so good and which is putting us back on the table.
But I think if everything comes together, there is a good chance for our team to win a act, and we still have 2 left. So we're still fighting for a win, and that's our next goal.
In the overall standings, the Wave Muscat still lead proceedings. Oman Air leapfrog Red Bull sailing team up to second. With 2 exciting acts still left on the calendar, there's always time for an upset. Next stop, Nice on the beautiful French Riviera. Join us then.